So, what is happening now?
Welcome to another episode of Maestro Speaks podcast.
The equivalent of love is forgiveness.
Mhm.
You cannot love without forgiveness.
Yeah.
Lumabalin ka iti yang generation anda kumamot nga mapasaran.
Naibag nga morning mo ako Il Maestro.
Tanya deh kung nanay tayo mesa.
I-appeal mo.
Buhayin.
Apil ko man kada gitu iko. Pipi ako man pilit ganti. Tutok na.
Di pa nag-approach mo rin?
Amo pa.
Approach.
Beta. Nang nangeg ko nga ibagbagan pa lang ni Lola kay din.
You better know the substance of the law.
Bayaw mo nang ibagas ni Manong.
And who cares if people have dark skin, right?
Kaanakan iti with expiration.
You find any inspiration in this we have done, and you have done your noble part.
El Maestro Speaks podcast.
All right, so here we are again. The Maestro Speaks podcast. Now, when we were young, when we're like grade school age, let's say, when when we were like in our teens, say for example, do you remember the person you look up to, like someone? I hate the monitor. It's you have to monitor it because you know just to check if there are some noises around. Anyway, so I was thinking of this thing back when we were young. Who do we look up to, right? So, um, in my case, back when I was young, I love reading a lot of books. So it's the only outlet I had because I don't know, I was the weakest guy in the group back when I was young. So your outlet, if you're the one being victimized by bullies, and I don't resent that, it made me who I am. It made me strong. If you can understand what I mean. Um, there is some, let's say, traumatic experience, but it's really up to the person how you're going to deal with it, right? Like I was watching this a comedy show in Netflix. Like there was there like having an acting lesson, and then one guy could could not like close his eyes and remember his childhood because according to him it was a traumatic childhood, and then the coach said, well, you're not a child anymore. Something like that. So in my opinion, it's the way we deal with it. It's the way we process the experience, whether that's a traumatic one or say something that you cannot, something that you're not supposed to experience back when you were young. Depends on how you look at it and how you take it, how you process it. And in majority, I think that's where the generation, the ones that we call boomers, are at advantage. They know how to process those hard experiences, and they know that those hardship made them, and that made them realize that life is unfair. And if you were not trained to deal with those, then of course you'll be having a meltdown. I think that's where this the earlier or the older generations are at advantage. Mm. Now back to what I'm talking about ago. So most of us, when we were growing up, we look up to someone, we idolize them, right? And we see yourself becoming like them in the future. No. So like in my case, I am reading a lot of books and I came to encounter a book in Filipino. It's like the biography of Ferdinand Evelyn Marcos, the president in the Philippines during the 70s, 60s, I guess. Yeah. And I finished that book. Like I had read it two times, three times. Okay, let me just listen to this one. So my recording studio is like beside the road, so we can hear some motorcycles, especially during nighttime, where the owner of this motorcycle with open pipe would like to rev it up and pass by this place here. Anyway, I have this book about the life of Marcus, and we were taught at school that Ferdinand Marcus is a genius. Like a lot of people say that about him. And then I read about him in this book. I think the title is Marcos Itinatadhana dahil sa kadakilaan. I cannot I cannot translate that in English. I'm sorry for those listeners or English speakers. So I read that when he was young, he can memorize long speeches because there was this stories about Marcus that he can, President Marcus, not the president right now, his father, that his father can deliver speech without guide, without reading any guide whatsoever. He can deliver a very long speech and people will not get bored listening to him. So he's a great orator. So I learned that about him. And I also read in the book that he is a marksman. That means that he's very good at using guns. And at the same time, he does martial arts. Well, back when I was just a kid, it's my dream to learn martial arts because, to help myself to protect myself against bullies. You know, so I was dreaming of becoming that guy, an all around guy. Because don't get me, I love the setup of the classroom because it's only in the classroom that I can shine, or I can outshine my peers. I'm the king inside the classroom, so to speak, back when I was in the grade school. But in the playground, I'm just nothing. that's why, uh, yeah, that draws me nearer to books. I mean, it it amplified my love for reading books. So when I read this story about Marcus, that was he became my idol, right? I don't know with you if maybe you idolize some actors, something like that. Yeah. In terms of the that department, I idolize Bruce Lee. You know now why. I think every little guy idolized him, right? But we have these people that we look up to, and we can say that they accomplished something. Well, the book that I read, there are some claims right now that some of the achievements being written, achievements that being claimed by Marcus in that book are not his, But anyway, one cannot deny the fact that he is a genius, and I idolized him. I want to become him. I wanted to emulate him. Uh, Along the way, I didn't know what happened. I didn't become like him. But all of us have that person that we look up to. Okay. At the same time, even we look around our neighborhood and see some successful people and we try to emulate them, right? But nowadays, it feels like that neighborhood where this young generation will try to look for people to emulate became wider. They have this artificial neighborhood, which is now called online, okay? In the internet world and social media platforms where they can now see people like doing great in terms of the definition of their definition of great. Yeah, so it's because I think definition of what is great, I think is subjective uh, for each individual, right? So nowadays we see young people aspiring to become an influencer, right? An influencer, a YouTuber, something like that. It's like it changed the way they view success now changed, which is kind of difficult because I don't know, maybe it's just being me being a what they call this one, an old timer. I don't look the success that this influencers have now seems to be temporary for me, right? It is like a fake gold. And we have the saying, everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that they do should be investigated properly. And we already know that we adults know that there are some of these influencers in Instagram that are faking it. So the 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 rule now in becoming successful if you're starting online is to fake it till you make it, right? You pretend like you have this money and you flash it in this social media until soon it will pay off and you'll have the real money, something like that. So fake it till you make it. Well, I don't take that against them. They can do whatever they want. That's their life. But it's an older generation looking up for this younger generation who's gonna be continuing our role as the pillars of society. We have to help the younger generation see through this facade, this glittering facade, and let's try to open their eyes so they can see that, like what I said a while ago, that kind of success is rather temporary. Having a degree on something, be that in science, whatever, having a degree, building up something tangible, it's a lot better than becoming an only fans model, which will maybe sustain you for, from now that you're in your teens until you will be in your late 30s, and then you'll be gone. You'll be changed by another one. Right? But if you make your decision now to have your degree, study, you know, make something for yourself and, you know, achieve your plans in terms of studying, contribute something to the society. Okay. And then whether you'll be in your late 30s, your late 60s, you will still be remembered. And your career will still be there. You know, I have nothing against. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against these influencers. They're good. Yeah, it's part of, you know. And maybe those who are studying, you can do that if you want, but that it's not the end all be all of things. Again, okay, you have to. We have to. This younger generations have to learn how to see through this glittering facade of this great destructions that's being given to us all day, every day. Yeah. And right now, one thing, okay, and speaking of idolizing or emulating successful person, um, the internet has brought a lot of people who claim to be a motivational speaker, motivational speaker, and this one, I like this one, gurus. Yeah, which makes me wonder, what should be your credential? Or, yeah, what credentials and experiences should you have to be called a guru? Like, guru, what is guru? Can we take a look at the definition of that one in our dictionary? Let me see. So, guru. Just a quick Google on that one. I'm just wondering because I was browsing the internet a while ago and I saw this one, particularly here in the Philippines, a guru. And on Guru, business and expert freelancers. Oh, no, I want the meaning. Okay. Guru in a Sanskrit term here is a Sanskrit term for mentor, guide, expert, and a master of certain field. It's an Indian word. It's a Sanskrit. It's also maybe it's where the Tagalogs derive their word guru, also a teacher. But here it's like a master, a mentor, somebody who's expert at something. Now there are a lot of people here in the internet that claims that they are a guru, and that's why. And if you look at them, they're so young. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old, I'm starting to get old. But there are a lot of influencers making content claiming that they're a financial guru. I mean, motivational. Yeah, going back again to motivational speaking. That makes me wonder what should be your credential that you can call yourself guru. In particular, like I have this guy here. What happened? No. I have this guy here who claims that he is a financial guru. And I'll be talking about him for a while because I want to I want to talk about the wild claims that he has. Let's try. Oh, this one here. I want you to listen to this. I'm sorry for those who are listening that are English speaker. I'll try to translate what he's talking about. Okay, so just so that we can have our conversation going. Okay, listen to this.
Mas lalaking kita ko, dito na lang ako. Sad to say,
And
dito sa Pilipinas,
one
kahit
more.
may diploma ka pa, papel lang yan, pero kung dito ako mas lalaking kita ko, dito na lang ako. Sad to say, dito sa Pilipinas, kinukuha ng mga companies ngayon is yung mga college graduate.
Yeah,
Ano ba reason? Nakapag-usap na ako sa mga may malalaking kumpanya na, mga malalaking businesses na, mga corporations na. Lagi ko tinatanong sa kanila, bakit nga pala hindi kayo nag-hire ng mga college dropout? Isa lang, palang sagot dyan. Mahirap na mag-take ng risk. Sa ibang bansa kasi, kahit wala kang college diploma, basta meron kang valuable skill, hahire ka nila. Marunong siya mag-accountant, ikaw may diploma, pero siya mas magaling, kukunin ko pa rin siya. Negosyo pa rin eh. Kung saan ako mas malaki ang return of investment ko, doon ako. Kahit may diploma ka pa, papel lang yan, pero kung
All right. So this guy, I don't want to mention the name. So this guy claims to be a financial guru. Yes, claims to have some business. Now, she's talking about in this video, there was I cannot find the exact video wherein he compared somebody who has a degree and someone who didn't finish or who doesn't have a degree and then worked hard. And he said diploma is just a piece of paper. It won't take you anywhere. And accordingly, majority of businessmen hires college undergrad or those people that does not have a degree because um they're a lot better, according to him. So he's like trying to tell the youth it's better that it does not matter if you study or not. In fact, it is better if you're not going to have your degree and start doing business at an early age. That's what's saying. Because your degree won't help you become successful. That's the gist of what he's saying. Now, a lot of influencers have already debunked his claim. And of course, even us, even you listeners could see, I think, the ridiculousness of this this claim here. But again, this guy here claims that he's a guru. In fact, he's been creating a lot of books teaching people how to, you know, make money. What was the book that was becoming a hot issue now with other influencers? Let me remember. Yes. Oh, the art of organic marketing. I don't know what that is. I'm not a businessman. So, it's creating a lot of books like that and selling them online. And they've been making podcasts also where they claim to have been having their six-digit income, something like that. This guy has the friends and they make podcasts like that making ridiculous claims. I don't care about their claims about the money. What irks me the most is their claim that having a diploma does not make a difference at all, that you'd be better off without a degree. You should start learning how to do business now. It is, I would I don't know. He's a dropout. He's a college dropout. Accordingly, I don't have a verifiable source to verify that, but according to some of the influencers, he did not finish his study also. And I guess he's just trying to influence others to follow his footsteps, which is, I don't know if he is successful because he keeps on comparing. Look at Bill Gates, Zuckerberg. Those guys are genius. Not everybody is a genius. Not everyone can go to the path that you've been through to reach success. So it's baloney to advise or to give that advice to young people who are still trying to find their own way in life. And then here comes this guru trying to ask and you mean telling them that this is the way. Okay. Now, right now, whoever is listening here and they're planning to do what he's saying, I would tell you, please finish, get a fucking degree. Get a degree. I cannot reiterate this enough. Get the freaking degree. That will help you a lot, you know, and a degree that is aligned with your expertise, with your passion. All right. And in the future, working, if you get that, if you will find out that you will find out that working will just be a play if it is aligned with your passion. Right? Yeah. I'll give an example of somebody who used, I mean, who used this degree to become successful in life. Okay. I won't need to go far. Let's just do it here, locally, here in Baguio City. Okay. I'm sorry for those who are listening from the other country, but you can Google this if you want to. Okay. Here in Baguio, in the Philippines, Baguio City, we had a mayor here named Attorney Mauricio Dumogan. Okay. So I had him in a podcast here, a previous episode. So he talked about his life. He shared that he came from a very poor family, orphaned at a very young age. His mother died at a very young age. So he said death is, death never gave him the chance to see the beautiful face of his mother. All right. He is very poor. In fact, when he was young, he was called the Arasaw boy. Arasaw is the term we used to call for leftover food. Now, here in the Philippines, for those who are listening from the other country, what we do is this leftover foods are being collected by people who owns piggeries. Now, if you're a big piggery, you will ask some boys to collect leftover foods from different houses in the neighborhood and bring it to your pig pen. Then you'll pay the boy. You'll pay the boy for the errands that he did. And that's what Attorney Mauricio did back when he was young. And he noticed that, of course, he knew that he had to get a degree so that he can improve his status in life. And he did. Okay? He said he came here in Baguio City in 1965. That was the first time he came to Baguio. He never been to Baguio until 1965. Imagine that. Now, he studied, finished his degree, he got his law degree, started working. He became, a lawyer for the working people. He improved his status in life because of his degree, because of education. Again, not all people can do that. Okay? Some can become successful by, having a blue collar job. Wherein you need again, you need a training for that in order for you to be successful, right? Okay. So having information or learning is very important for somebody so that someone can improve his status in life and himself. Learning, education is important. Education is a weapon. So this guy really irks me a lot, especially if he's talking about that, talking about something he does not understand and is calling himself a guru, you know. I like one professor said, you know, uh, what did it say? Forgot. Okay. Not everybody can scam people. As education is very important. That's what he said. And it's true. It's true. Because I was trying to look at the business side. This guy here is involved in a networking business. And we all know that networking is a scam. A lot of people has been scammed by networking strategies, businesses. And this guy is involved in that kind of business. And if you see how they talk, how they sell themselves, they exaggerate. Like this guy said, he has an eight business. He has eight businesses. And then because one business that he opened started to make a lot of money, like millions. So he decided to close those other businesses. Okay. Now, if you dig deeper, it's like common sense would tell you that why would you do that if those eight businesses are good, even if they're not gaining, I mean, they're not making millions of income, but still good, why close it? It's it does not make sense that because one business is making a million that you will be closing other business. If you are a business minded person, you would make that business automated so that you would still have gains, okay? Or make or designate someone who will run it for you, right? So it does not make sense. The reasoning that is it, you know, there was one uh, person who told me that if you start a story with a lie, sooner or later, people will read through it because it's very difficult to maintain a lie, very difficult to maintain a made-up story. So you can see if you can, if you'll try to watch this guy, you will see that his stories are all made up. It's like exaggeration just to sell themselves and to sell their business. So I'm urging those people, especially those who were attracted by his speech about not getting a degree, to please reconsider. Reconsider. Okay? Get a degree. It's very important. It's will not. Okay, I'm telling you that that won't make you instantly rich, but it will widen your horizon. It will widen your opportunity. And we all know that in this digital age, knowledge is very important. Knowing how to use this knowledge is, again, an advantage. So you getting the knowledge, how do we get it? Get a degree, you know, train on something, okay? Train yourself to have something, a knowledge, an expertise. That's how you will improve your status. Yeah. Okay. Just wondering, should I call myself gurus? Oh my God. Yeah. Like that. Uh, let's, there are those parents who are listening, or yeah, old folks who are listening. Really important to like help train our children see through this with that. Okay. We have to advise them, especially if they're listening to something that is too good to be true. 99.9% probably that's not true. It's too good to be true. It is not true. And usually, here in the Philippines, we've been you know, bombarded with these exaggerated stories from these networking people, and they have made a niche for themselves in the internet world, and that's where they can get victims, more victims that believes their shit. You know, so Yeah, that one. Yeah, that irks me a lot, it is for me, the importance of education. It's there. You cannot take that out. You like I said, the story of Mauricio de Muga. It's a textbook example of how education can bring you out of poverty. It's not only him. There's a lot of stories here in our locality, here in the province of Benguet, or here in the region of the Cordillera. That if okay, my advice to the children, look around your community before you look for people to emulate. Before you look for people to emulate in the internet, look around your community. Okay, there are a lot of successful people there worthy to be emulated. Okay. Now, success again is relative, you know, so it depends on how you define success. Okay. Now, the fame and the money, of course, there's big money in the internal world, but again, like I said, that is just temporary. Okay. A degree or an education that you know, itch in your mind that you will get will be there forever until the day you will die. The fame that you'll get here in the internet world is temporary. That's just 15 minutes if you believe Andy Warhol's principle. It's just a 15-minute fame, okay? And you will not be able to sustain it forever, okay? So, you know, just make that your secondary priority. And your priority now is go around your community, look for a person worthy to be emulated. Listen to their stories, ask their stories. They're willing to share. Now, that's the reason why my conversations are focused on these people, the likes of Mark Sangyao, attorney Mauricio de Morgan, the likes of the principals that I look up to, the likes of my friends who finished their education through a lot of challenges, you know, those ones will inspire you. Okay? So just look around your community. You will find someone there worthy to be in your, and you can ask their advice on how we do or how to deal with life. Look at your parents. Okay? Their attitude towards life, how they handle challenges, those are the people that you should get your lessons that you can and that you can so that you can be successful person. All right. So just look around your small circle and use whatever knowledge that you can get there, okay, to go up in life. Okay? Please be wary of what you see in the internet. And that's the only advice I can give for now. And that's what's happening now. What's happening now is there's a lot of fake gurus in the internet. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, and I've been seeing this a lot. It irks me. Okay? I'm being disgusted with this kind of people. But again, they're free to do that, right? It's freedom of, you know, spreading your beliefs and choices. But please be wary. Please be wary of this fake gurus, influencers, so to speak, because they might be influencing you to stay where you are by promising that you will become instantly successful. So Don't believe with that word instant success. Instant success. Act for a successful life. Going up to the mountaintop is a process. You have to go through the hardship. Okay? That's life. That is the rule of life. Nothing in life comes easy. You have to go through the process. You have to go through the hardship. So there's no such thing as happy. Forget about it. There's no such thing as becoming an instant success. Okay? An instant success means it will become nothing in an instant. Something worth savoring is something that you worked hard for. Always remember that. So be wary of this fake influence, fake gurus. That's it for what's happening now. I hope I was able to share some information for you. And if you have some comments, you can just email me and we'll talk about it. This is Maestro Speaks, saying wherever you are in this part of the world, be that someone who inspires. Goodbye. See you next one.